cry. Even in a low state, not to adopt the men expected of saying, I have nothing but to give, is the characteristic of the man of the noble birth. The supplements cry for aid yields scant delight until you see his face with grateful gladness bright. To see men begging from us is disagreeable until we see their pleasant countenances. Mid devotees, they are great who hungers pangs sustain, who hungers banks relieve a higher merits gain. The power of those who perform means is the power of enduring hunger. It is inferior to the power of those who remove the hunger of others. Let man relieve the wasting hunger men endure. For treasure gained thus finds he treasures house secure. To the removal of the killing hunger of the poor is the place for one to lay up his wealth. Whose soul delights with hungry men to share his meal, the hand of hunger's sickness, so shall never fail. The fiery disease of hunger shall never touch him who habitually distributes his food to others. The delight of gladdening human hearts with gifts do they not know. Men of unpitying eye who hoard their wealth and lose it so. Do the hard aid who lay up and lose their possessions not to know the happiness which springs from the pleasure of giving. They keep their garners full for self alone. The board they spread, 'tis greater pain, be sure, than begging daily bread. Solitary and unshared eating for the sake of filling up one's own richer is certainly much more unpleasant than begging. 'Tis bitter pain to die, 'tis worse to live for him who nothing finds to give. Nothing is more unpleasant than death. Yet even that is pleasant where charity cannot be exercised. 24th chapter. See that the life, the price of generous gifts of time. Save this for living man exists no real gain. Give to the poor and live with price. There is no greater profit to man than that. The speech of all that speak agrees to grow. The men that give to those that ask with fair renown. Whatsoever is spoken in the world will abide as price upon that man who gives alms to the poor. Save price alone that soars on high, not lives on earth that shall not die. There is nothing that stands forth in the world imperishable except fame extracted in solitary greatness. If men do virtuous deeds by worldwide ample glory crowned, the heaven will cease to laud the sage for other give, gifts renowned. If one has acquired extensive fame within the limits of this earth, the world of the gods will no longer prize those sages who have attained that world. Loss that is gain, and death of life's truth, bliss fulfilled, or fruits which only wisdom raised and yield. Prosperity to the body of fame, resulting in poverty to the body of flesh, and the stability to the former arising from the death of the later are achievable only by the wise. You walk the stage, appear adorned with glory, grace, save glorious you can shine, 'twere better hide your face. If you are born in this world, be born with qualities conducive to fame. From those who are destitute of them, it will be better and to be born. You days will spend divide of goodly fame. When men despise, why blame them? You have yourself to blame. Why do those who cannot live with price grave those who despise them instead of graving themselves for their own inability? Fame is virtue's child. They say if them, you you childless live the scorn of men, not to biggest fame will be esteemed a disgrace by the wise in this world. The blameless fruits of fields increases will divine down if yet the burden bear of men without renown. The crowd which supports a body without fame will diminish in its rich produce. Who live without reproach, them living men we deem. Who live without renown, live not nothing, live men they seen. Those who live without disgrace, those who live without fame will not. 25th chapter. Wealth mind, wealth is wealth, kindness, wealth of goods, the wildest two possesses. The wealth of kindness is wealth of wealth in as much as the wealth of prosperity is possessed by the best of men. The law of grace fulfilled by methods good due trial made, though many systems you explore. This is your only aid. In the good path, consider and be kind, even considering according to the conflicting nets of the different sects, kind your best acquisition of heavenly bliss. They in whose breast a gracious kindness resides, see not the gruesome world where darkness drearer abides. They will never enter the world of the darkness and wretchedness whose minds are the abode of kindness. who for undying souls of men provides with gracious zeal. In his own soul, the dreaded guilt of sin shall never fail. The wise say that the evils which his soul would dread will never come upon the man who exercises kindness of and protects the life of other creatures. The teeming earth is vast, round which the wild winds blow. He is witness men of grace, no woeful want shall know. This great rich earth over which the wind blows is a witness that sorrow never comes upon the kind hearted. Gain of true wealth, oblivious, oblivious, they place forsake graceless actions do. The wise, they set those who neglect kindness and practice truth, humilities, neglected virtue in their former birth, and forget the sorrow which they must suffer. As a impoverished men, this present world is not. The graceless in you world have neither part nor lot. As this world is not for those who are without wealth, so that world is not for those who are without kindness, who lose store of wealth when season change, again may bloom, who lose benevolence, lose all, nothing can change their doom. Those who are without wealth may at some future time become prosperous. Those who are destitute of kindness are utterly destitute. For them, there is no change. When souls unwise true wisdom's mind stick vision see, the graceless man may work true works of charity. If you consider the virtue of him who is without kindness, he is like the perception of the true being by him who is without wisdom. When weaker men you from the threats threatening, bro, think how you felt in presence of some stronger foe. When a man is about to rush upon those who are weaker than himself, let him remember how he has stood trampling before those who are stronger than himself. 26th chapter. How can they want a kindly grace of him to know who other creatures flesh consumes to feed his own? How can he possess of kindness who is increase his own flesh, eats flesh of other creatures? No use of wealth have they who got not their estate, no use of grace have they with flesh who hunger stay. As those possess no property, who do not take care of it, so those possesses no kindness who feed on flesh. Like heart of them that murderous weapons bear his mind, who eats of savory meat, no joy in good can find. Like the mind of him who carries a weapon, The mind of him who feels the pleasure on the body of another has no regard for goodness. What is grace or lack of grace? To kill is that not to kill. To eat dead flesh can never worthy end fulfill. If it is asked what is kindness and what is opposite, the answer would be preservation and destruction of life, and therefore it is not right to feed on the flesh. You flesh you eat not, lives aborts unharmed remain. Who eats hell follows him and render not again. Not to eat flesh contributes to the continuance of life. Therefore, if a man eat flesh, hell will not open its mouth. We eat this saline. You say, by us no living creatures die. Who, who did kill and sell? I pray, if none came there, the flesh to buy. If the world does not destroy life of the purpose of eating, then no one would sell flesh for the sake of money. With other beings, ulcer us, wounds their hunger, they appease. Is this they felt? Desire to eat must surely cease. If men should come to know that flesh is nothing but the unclean ulcer of your body, let them abstain from eating it. Whose souls the vision pure and patientless perceive, eat
వేడి రండి
not
పైన
the
కింద ఉంది
poison of
పైన ఎంత
life.
ఉన్నది అంటే మనం కింద ఉన్నప్పుడు పైన పోయిందే కావాలా ఏమోదా
This wise who has freed themselves
டிஸ்கவுண்ட் లో
from
வாங்கி
the
தருதுன்னா வாங்க மாட்டேங்கிறாரு இது 9,000
mental
ஃப்ரிட்ஜ் తీసుకుంటున్నా
dissolution will not eat the flesh which has been served from an
சுண்டக்காய் முக்கா
animal.
பணம் சுகமச்சு சுண்டக்காய் காப்பணம் சும்மா கூடி முக்கா பணம்
Than thousands rich
10,000
oblations
ஆகணும் 5,000
with
10,000 కాల ఈ తమ్మి
libations rare.
50% డిస్కౌంట్ తీస్తా
Better the flesh
ఇప్పుడు
of
పైన వస్తావు కింద వస్తావు
slaughtered being not to share. Not to kill and eat the flesh of an animal is better than the pouring forth of ghee, etc., is 1,000 sacrifices. Who slays not flesh rejects his feet before all living things, with clap hands adore. All creatures will join their hands together and worship him who has never taken away life nor eaten flesh. 27th chapter. To bear due potential pains while no offense he causes others is the type of patience. The nature of religious discipline consists in the endurance of the sufferings which it brings on behalf on himself and in abstaining from giving pain to others. The pettiness sincere avails their pettiness. Where that is not, tis but a vain pretense. Austerities can only be borne and the benefits enjoyed by those who have practiced them. It will be useless for those who have not done so to attempt to practice them. Have other men to forgotten penitence who strive to earn of penitence the things by which they live. It is provide food, etc. for the ascetics who have abandoned possessions that other persons for have forgotten austerity. Destruction to his foes, to friends increase of joy, the pettinent can cause if this his thoughts employ. If desire the destructive of enemies or the aggressment of his friends, it will be affected the power of his sterilities. That what they wish may, as they wish, be owned by men on earth or works of painful penance done. Religious discipline is practiced in the world because it secures the attainment of whatever one may wish to enjoy in the world to come. Who works of penance do that end attain, others in passion's net ensured toil but in vain. Those discharge their duty who perform austerities, all other accomplish their own destruction through the entanglement of the desire. The hotter glows, the fining fire, the gold, the brighter shines. The pain of faintness like fire, the soul of man refines. Just as gold is purified as heated in the fire, who those shine who have endured the bringing of pain, who gains himself in utter self control, him worships every other living soul. All other creatures will worship him who has attained the control of his own soul. Even over death, the victory he may gain, if power by penance own his soul obtain. Those who have attained the power which religious discipline confers will be able also to pass the limit of Yama. The many all things lack, the cause is blind, the petness or few, the many shun such pain. Because there are few who practice asceti and many who do not, that there are many destitute and few rich in this world.
உங்களுக்கு எவ்வளவு நேரம்மா டைம்?
எனக்கு 9 o'clock வரைக்குமா?
அப்படிங்களா? சரிங்கம்மா.
28th chapter. With deceitful mind in false way walks of covert sin, the fivefold elements his frame compose reside within. The five elements will laugh within him at the feigned conduct of the deceitful minded man. What gain though virtue's semblance high as heaven, his fame exalt, if heart dies down, throughout sense of the self-detected fault. What avails an appearance high as heaven if his mind suffers of conscious sin, as if a streeter should graze wrapped round with tire skin, is show of virtues might when weakness lurks within. The assumed appearance of power by a man who has no power is like a cow feeding on grass covered with a tiger's skin. Tie as a flower, silly birds to snare in thick, thickets lurks. When glad is stern ascetic garb, one secret evil works. He who hides himself under the mask of an ascetic and commits sins, like a sportsman who conceals himself, is the ticket to catch birds. Our souls are free who say, yet practice evil secretly. What folly have we wrought? By many shame over, welcome shall cry. The false conduct of those who say they have renounced all desire will one day bring them sorrow that will make them cry out, oh, what have we done? What have we done? In mind, renouncing not, in speech, renouncing every lie, who willful live. No men are found than these are harder I. Among us living men, they are none so hard-hearted as those who without to seeking, that is desire, in their heart falsely take the appearance of those who have forsaken it. Outward they shine as gundry berries skirtled bright, inwards like tip of gundry weed as black as night. The world contains persons whose outside appears that is as fair as the berry of the herbs, but whose inside is as black as nose of the berry. Many wash of halved waters, living leaves of hidden shame, whole is heart, yet high unprized of men in virtue's fame. There are many men as masked conduct who perform their absolutions and of greatness while their mind is defiled. Cruel is arrow straight, the cooked lute is sweet. Judge by their deeds the many forms of men you meet. As in its use, the arrow is crooked and the curved lute is right, so by their deeds and not to their appearance, let the uprightness of crookedness of men be estimated. What is the worth of 7 head or stresses long? If you see what all the world condemns as wrong, there is no need of a 7 grown nor of tangled hair. If a man abstain from those deeds which the wise have condemned. 29th chapter. Who seeks heaven's lays from imbless levelity secure, let him from every fraud preserve his spirit pure. Let him who desires not to be despised keep his mind from defrauding another of the smallest thing. Thy sin if in the mind man but thought conceive by fraud I will my neighbor of his wealth brave. Even the thought is sin, think not them of craftily stealing the property of another. The gain that comes by fraud, although it seems to grow with limitless increase to ruin, swift shall go. The property which is acquired by fraud will entirely perish, even while it seems to increase. The lust inveterate of fraudful gain yields as its fruit undying pain. The eager desire of defrauding others will, when it brings forth its fruit, produce undying sorrow. Grace is not in their thoughts, nor know the kind affection power, who neighbor's goods desire, and watch for his unguarded hour. The study of kindness and the exercise of benevolence is not with those who watch for another forgetfulness, though desire of his property. They cannot walk restrained in wisdom's measured bound, in whom inveterate lust of fraudful gain is found. They cannot walk steadfastly according to rule, who eagerly desire to defraud others. Practice of fraud or cunning odds they shun, who long for power by measured wisdom born. That black knowledge which is called fraud is not in those who desire the greatness which is called restitute. As virtue dwells in heart that measured wisdom gains, deceit in hearts of fraudful men established resigns. Dissent dwells in the mind of those who are conservant with fraud. Even virtue is the minds of those who are conservant with restitute, who have no lure save that which fraudful odds supply, acts of unmeasured vice, committing straightway die. Those who are acquainted with nothing but fraud will perish in the very commission of transgression. The fraudful perfect life and being here below, who fraud eschew the blisses of heavenly begins no. Even their body will fail the fraudulent, but even the world of the God will not fall those who are free from fraud. 30th chapter. You ask in lips of men what truths may be, thy speech from every taint of evil free. Truth is the speaking of such words as are free from the least of evil, that is to others. Falsehood may take the place of truthful word if blessings free from fault it can afford. Even falsehood has the nature of truth if it confer a benefit that is free from fault. Speak not a word which falls, they own hearts knows kindled fire within the false one's spread glows. Let not a man knowing tell a lie, for after he has told the lie, his mind will burn him of his guilt. True to his inmost soul who lives enshrined, he lives in souls of all mankind. He who, in his conduct, preserves a mind free from dissent, will dwell in the minds of all men. Greater is he who speaks his truth with full consenting mind than men who lives have penitence and charity combined. He who speaks truth with all his heart is superior to those who make gifts and practice assertities. No price like that of birds from falsehood free. This every virtue yields spontaneously. There is no price like price of the never uttering of falsehood. Without causing any suffering, it will lead to every virtue. If all your life be utter truth, the truth alone, 'tis will, though other virtues, acts of left undone. If a man has power to abstain from falsehood, it will be well with him, even though the practice no other virtue. Outward purity the water will bestow, inward purity from truth alone will follow. Purity of body is produced by water and purity of mind by truthfulness. Ever lamp is not a lamp in wise men's sight. That is the lamp with the truth's pure radiance bright. All lamps of nature and not lamps. The lamp of truth is the lamp of the wise. Of all good things we have scanned with studious care. There is not that can with truthfulness compare. A minus all that we have seen as real, there is nothing so good to truthfulness. 31st chapter. Where thou lost power, the hungry will do work. Thy worth restrained, where power is none, what matter if thou check or give in rein? He restrains his anger, who restrains in when it can endure, when it cannot endure. What does it matter whether he restrained it or not? Where power is none to wreak thy wrath imparts his ill. Where thou hast power, they will to work, 'tis greater evil still. Anger is bad, even when it cannot endure what it can endure. There is no greater evil. If any rouse thy wrath, the trespass straight forget, for wrath and endless train of evils will be get. Forget anger towards everyone, as fountain of evil spring from it. Wrath robs the future face of smiles, the heart of joy. What other foe of man works such annoy? Is there a greater enemy than anger, which kills both laughter and joy? If thou wouldest guard thyself, guard against wrath always gains wrath who guard not, him his wrath shall slay. If a man would guard himself, let him guard against anger. If he do not guard it, anger will kill him. Wrath of a fire that slayeth, whose draweth near, will burn the helpful raft of kindred deer. The fire of anger will burn up even the pleasant rat of friendship. The hand that smites the earth unfailing feels these stink. So perish they who nurse their wrath as noble thing. Destruction will come upon him who regards anger as a good thing, as surely as the hand of heaven of him who strikes the ground will not fail. Though men should work with thee who, like touch of tongues of fire, 'tis well if thou canst save thy soul from burning fire. Though one commit things against you a painful as its bundles of fire had thrust upon you, it will be well to refrain, if possible, from anger. If man his soul presents from wrathful fires, he gains with that whatever his soul desires. If a man never indulge anger in his heart, he will at once obtain whatever he has thought of. Men of surpassing wrath are like the men who have passed away, who wrath renounce equals of all renouncing stages they. Those who give way to excessive anger are no better than dead men, but those who are freed from it are equal to those who are freed from death. 32nd chapter. Though ill no neighbor wrought should glorious pride of wealth secure, no ill to do in is fixed degree of men in sprite pure. It is the determination of the spotless not to cause sorrow to others, although they would, that is, by so causing, obtain the wealth which confers greatness. Though malice work is worst planning, no ill return to endure, and work no ill is fixed decrees of men in spirit pure. In the determination of the spotless not do devil, even in return to those who have cherished enmity and done them evil. Though unprovoked, thy soul malicious force should sting. retaliation wrought inevitable woes will bring. In an ascetic inflict suffering even on those who hate him when he has not done them any evil. It will afterwards give him irretrievable sorrow. To punish wrong with kindly benefits, the doors play, thus shame their souls, but pass the ill unheeded by. The punishment to those who have done evil, that is to you, is to put them to shame by showing them kindness. It's returned to forget both the evil and the good done on the both sides. From wisdom's vaunted lore that the learner gain, if as his own he got not others souls from pain. What benefit has derived from the knowledge, from his knowledge, who does not endeavor to keep up pain from another as much as from himself? What his own soul has felt as bitter pain, frame making other feel should man abstain. Let not a man construct to do those things to another which he knows will cause sorrow. To work no willful woe in any wise through all the days to any living soul is virtue's highest prize. Is the chief of all virtues not knowingly to do any person evil, even in the lowest degree and at any time? Whose soul has felt the bitter smart of wrong, how can he wrongs inflict on ever living soul of man? Why does a man inflict upon other creatures those sufferings which he has found by experience or sufferings to himself? If or the noontide you to the others evil do, before the eventide will evils visit you. If a man inflict sorrow upon others in the morning, it will come upon him at sort in the very evening. Over every evil door evil broodeth still, he evil shuns who freedom seeks from ill. Sorrow will come upon those who cause pain to others. Therefore, those who desire to be free from sorrow, given no pain to others. மகேஸ்வரி அம்மா இருக்கீங்களா?
அம்மா இருக்கேங்கம்மா.
முடிச்சிட்டேம்மா. 8 o'clock ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணினேன்.
சரிங்கம்மா.
இதுக்கு மேல படிச்சா வாடி வலிக்குது வேற.
ஆமா 1 hour படிச்சிருக்கீங்களா? கொஞ்சம் பிரேக் விட்டுட்டீங்களா அதனால.
இல்ல நானு பிரேக் விடல, படிச்சுட்டு தான் வரேன். இங்கிலீஷ் அந்த தமிழ்ல முடிச்சுட்டு
சொல்லல. இன்னைக்கு பிரேக் விட்டேன்னு சொல்லுங்க. நீங்க இது ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது நிறைய படிச்சுட்டே இருக்கணும், சொல்லணும் ஸ்கூல்ல காலேஜ்ல. இப்ப நீங்க முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் அதிகமான வாய்ப்பு இல்லம்மா, அதனால வாய் வலிக்குதுங்கிற.
ஆமா, அதோட இல்ல இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்றத கொஞ்சம் டிலேவும் ஆறுது, ஃபாஸ்ட்னஸ் வர மாட்டேங்கிறது.
ஆமாங்கம்மா.
ஏன்னா அது புது வேர்ட்ஸ், சிலதெல்லாம் நிறைய வேர்ட்ஸ் புது வேர்டு, அன்னோன் வேர்ட்ஸா இருக்குது. அன்னோன் வேர்ட்ஸ் வரைச்ச நம்ம கொஞ்சம் கேர்ஃபுல்லா வாசிக்கணும் இல்லையா?
கண்டிப்பாமா. யாரோட உரைமாப்பா வாசிக்கிறீங்க? ஜியுங்களா?
பெரிய அண்ணே அவரே இங்கிலீஷ்ல எழுதிருக்காரு.
அவரே இங்கிலீஷ்ல எழுதியிருக்காரு. சரி சரி. ஆனா அதான் நீங்க போட்டிருக்கீங்க பார்த்தேன், தமிழ்லயும் அதே இங்கிலீஷ்லயும் அவரு போட்டிருக்கீங்க.
அந்த சேம் புக்லயே அவர் இங்கிலீஷும் தமிழுமா கொடுத்திருக்காரு அந்த உரை. ஆக்சுவலா அந்த திருக்குறள் எனக்கு ஒரு கிஃப்டா வந்தது. நான் ஒரு மீட்டிங் அட்டன் பண்ணினேன். அந்த மீட்டிங்ல எங்க சிஓ ஆபீஸ் பிஏ கொடுத்திருந்தேன்.
ஓ சரிங்கம்மா.
இத முடிச்சிட்டு வேணா அந்த அவர் மணிவாசகனா என்னமோ ஒருத்தர் அவருடைய திருக்குறள் எடுத்து படிக்கிறேன். இத முடிச்சுட்டு
சரிங்கம்மா. இதை முடிச்சுட்டு அது ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்கம்மா.
அது ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண. இது வந்து இப்பதான் 320 குறள் தான் முடிஞ்சிருக்கு.
சரிங்கம்மா.
10க்கு மேல 12க்கு மேல இது படிக்க முடியல 1 ஹவர்ல.
முடிஞ்ச
தமிழ்ல
வரைக்கும்
வந்து
படிங்கம்மா,
20
ரொம்ப
அதிகாரம் இருக்கு.
சிரமப்பட வேண்டாம்.
இல்ல தமிழ்ல வந்து 20 அதிகாரம் முடிச்சு விடுறேன்.
சரிங்க.
இங்கிலீஷ்ல வந்து அவ்வளவு வரமாட்டேங்குது.
ஓ சரிங்கம்மா சரிங்கம்மா.
ஏன்னா நம்ம உச்சரிப்பு எல்லாம் சரியா இருக்கணும்.
ஆமாங்கம்மா ஆமாங்கம்மா.
அதனால வேற ஒண்ணும் நல்லா வாசிக்கிறேன்னா ஒண்ணும் சொல்ல மாட்டேங்கிறீங்க.
ஆமா நல்லா வாசிக்கிறீங்கம்மா. நான் இப்பதான் வந்தேன். ஒரு 5 மினிட்ஸ்க்கு முன்னாடிதான் வந்தேன். நல்லா இருக்குது. ப்ரொனவுன்சியேஷன் எல்லாம் ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. நான் லாஸ்ட் மினிட் தான் வந்தேன். முதல்ல வரல. அவங்க ஜோதி அம்மா கூப்பிட்டு சொன்னாங்க வச்சலாமான்னு. வச்சலம்மா இங்கிலீஷ்ல வாசிக்குவாங்களே அப்படின்னு. ஆமாமா போய் பாரு அப்படின்னாங்க. அதுதான்மா வந்தேன். ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்குதுங்க.
நன்றிமா நன்றி.
நீங்க ஒருத்தர் தானே இங்கிலீஷ்ல வாசிக்கிறீங்க, அப்புறம் எல்லாருமே தமிழ் தான் வாசிக்கிறாங்கம்மா.
ஆமா ஆமா. இல்ல நான் தான் உங்ககிட்ட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொஞ்ச நாள்ல கேட்டேன். இல்ல தமிழ்ல படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கத்தையே.
எந்த லாங்குவேஜ் வேணாலும் படிக்கலாம் நம்ம. அதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணும் இல்ல. ரொம்ப சூப்பர்.
எனக்கு வந்து 2 லாங்குவேஜ் தான் தெரியும். தமிழும் இங்கிலீஷ் தான் தெரியும். மத்ததெல்லாம் வந்து புரிஞ்சுப்பேன். ஹிந்தி கொஞ்சம் கத்துண்டு அதெல்லாம் மறந்து போயிடுது. தெலுங்கு வந்து பேசினா புரியும். எனக்கு பேசவெல்லாம் வராது. தெலுங்கு மலையாளம் எல்லாம் பேசினா புரியும் அவ்வளவுதான்.
சரிங்கம்மா. அம்மா ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா நீங்க இங்கிலீஷ்ல படிக்கிறது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்குது. நாளைக்கு அப்புறம் கேக்குறோம் இல்லம்மா.
ஓகே ஓகே தேங்க்யூ.
சரிங்கம்மா. நாளைக்கு இதே டைமாங்கம்மா 8 to 9 வரீங்களா?
நாளைக்கு சாட்டர்டே தானே. எனக்கு மத்த கிளாஸஸ் வேற இருக்கு மகேஸ்வரிமா. ஆல்ரெடி சொல்லிக்கணும். நான் வந்து எனக்கு இதெல்லாம் இருக்கு பாகவதம் கிளாஸ். இப்ப எனக்கு 10 மணிக்கு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. இப்போ 9 o'clock ஷார்ட் அண்ட் கத்து கொடுக்குறேன். ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட் வருவா.
சரிங்கம்மா.
அதனாலதான் எனக்கு நிறைய வீட்டு வேலை. அது அப்பார்ட் ஃப்ரம் தட் வீட்டு வேலை எல்லாமே இருக்கு இல்லையா நமக்கு.
சரிங்கம்மா சரிங்கம்மா.
வேற ஒண்ணு. ரொம்ப நன்றிமா வாய்ப்புல.
ரொம்ப நன்றிங்கம்மா. நீங்க
நன்றி நன்றி.
சரிங்கம்மா.
சரி.
கனகாம்பாலம்மா லைன்ல இருக்கீங்களா?
வந்துட்டீங்கம்மா.
ஒரு நிமிஷம். அம்மா நீங்க படிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிருங்கம்மா.
அப்படியே கண்டினியூ பண்ணலாமாங்கம்மா?
ஆமாமா அப்படியே கண்டினியூ பண்ணுங்க. லைவ் தான் போயிட்டு இருக்குதுமா. ரொம்ப நன்றிங்கம்மா. படிக்க வாழ்த்துக்கள்மா. படிங்க.
சரிங்கம்மா நன்றி. வணக்கம். அதிகாரம் 71. குறிப்பு அறிதல். கூறாமை நோக்கி குறிப்பு அறிவான் எஞ்ஞான்றும் மாறாநீர் வையாங்கு அணி. வெளிப்பட சொல்லாமலே முகத்தை நோக்கி குறிப்பு அறிகின்றவன் எப்போதும் வற்றாத நீர் சூழ்ந்த உலகுக்கு அணிகலன் ஆவான். ஐயப்படா அது அகத்து உணர்வானே தெய்வத்தோடு ஒப்ப கொளல். ஐயப்படாமல் மனத்தில் உள்ளதே அறிவுள்ளவனை தெய்வத்தோடு ஒப்பாக கொள்ளுதல் வேண்டும். குறிப்பின் குறிப்பு